Hey guys, what's up? CCruzFight. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some nifty little tricks with the HUD Message Device. So let's get started. First things first, you're going to want to place a HUD Message Device and then set the following settings. Set the HUD message to display 1 second from round start, and then you can leave the rest of these settings as they appear. So when we start game, we should get a default HUD message in the center of the screen. Awesome. So before we go any further, I do want to make sure to give credit to Wort Andrew for finding this, and Boyka for finding all of the different styles. We're going to be using Boyka's Google Doc to figure out how to do this. To customize your HUD message device, and go to the Google Doc that I've linked in the video description. As you can see right here, we've got a list with all of the different tags and their corresponding style. So say we wanted to use this bold blue style. The tag is intro, and then the closing tag is the same as all other closing tags. Let's try that out. So at first glance, you'd imagine that you'd type intro like this, and then close the message like so. However, this is not going to work. I'll show you why. When you press start game, it's actually going to show the code that we just typed, which is not the effect we're looking for. The reason for this is because the text style that you've set, in my case default right here, is going to take precedence as the first style. That means everything I've written here until the closing style is actually going to be in default. To fix that, what we're going to want to do is add a closing tag at the very beginning. This stops the default tag and will create the bold blue right here. Another thing to note is that the game actually adds the closing tag at the very end of the message for you, no matter what. So you don't need a closing tag at the very end. Let's check that out. Awesome. Looks like bold blue. We're on our way. Now you can use this trick mid-sentence as well. So as you can see here, we've started the bold blue. For the word message, I'm going to use a different color. Let's check out the text document. So I'd like the word message to be in orange. So we're going to type the tag enemy. Now, can you see anything wrong with this format? If you guessed there's no closing tag, you are correct. So we're going to want to close that bold blue tag, the ally tag, or sorry, the intro tag, my bad, and open a new enemy tag. That should make the word message appear in orange. And again, we do not need to close this tag because the HUD message device automatically adds a closing tag. Let's check that out. There we go. We've got bold blue, this is a HUD, and orange message. Now the only limits for this effect are just the character limit inside. We're going to go ahead and close that, and then I'll even add a little bit extra in here. Let's do ally. And again, we do not need to close it. You may have noticed that I added a closing after the enemy tag. And that's just because I wanted to end the orange text. Remember, everything from here to here will appear in orange. So this whole word. Now everything from ally to the very end of the HUD message will apply in this style. Let's check that out. As you can see, we've got bold blue, orange, and regular blue. Another thing to note is instead of adding this section here that says where it closes the default tag and then adds the new bold blue tag, we can actually just close this out and then set bold blue. And we should get the same result. The reason for that is because I'm using the text style on the HUD message device, and then I'm closing the tag after the words, "This is a HUD." So you don't have to type out every style. It's just every style after the first style that you'd like to specify. So again, bold blue, the setting I've set here, will go all the way until it sees the very first closing tag, which is right here. So everything before this tag appears in bold blue, and then Using this tag, we've actually changed the color, so this will appear orange. We can take this effect another step further by adding next line Unicode. I've included a link for the next line character in the video description as well. Let's check that out. Okay, so this is the page for the next line Unicode, known as NEL. You're going to want to copy and paste this square. Note that this does not work on console. Okay, now that we've copied the next line Unicode, we can paste that anywhere we want in this area to get a new line. You do have to note, if you paste the next line inside of a closing bracket, so here, I'll actually make this a little bit easier. Do that. We're going to paste our next line right here inside the closing bracket. Now, the way that this works, by creating this next line here, I actually no longer have this code here. So if you'll look, this is actually all going to appear in bold blue, because this closing tag being on the next line does not count for this line. Let's check that out. As you can see, it did break our message there. But there's an easy fix. All we have to do is make sure that there's a closing tag at the end of every line. And again, you don't need a closing tag at the very end of the HUD message. So let's check that out. Wonderful. So now we're getting "this is a HUD" in bold blue on top and "message" in orange on bottom. You can create multiple lines using this technique. So I'm going to go ahead and add another next line Unicode here. And remember that I do have to add a closing tag to that. We'll do some other styles. Adding a next line on the outside of the closing tag. And then remembering that I don't have to add a closing tag at the very end of the message. Let's check this one out. As you can see, we've got 4 different styles all on top of one another. So you can use this to create multiple lines of text with different styles. Alright, I'm going to show you another trick with the HUD Message Device. Spazzy64 posted a video on this earlier this week, so I'm going to link that in the top right if you want to learn more. But if we set these all to spawn from a channel, such as channel 1, you can actually determine the order in which these display on your screen. So as you can see, this first message says message 1, this second message says message 2, and this third message says message 3. There's no difference from when they start. We're actually going to set that to off, as a matter of fact. And there's no difference in the duration. What is different, however, is where they're placed on the map. So if I'm starting right here, depending on where I am in the map, it will play the HUD message closest to me first. I'm going to go ahead and place a button down right here. Have it transmit to channel 1. Or not enable. Okay, so when I push this button, it should play message 1, then message 2, and then message 3. Alright, perfect. And just to show you guys that that is affected by where I spawn, if I push that button when I'm behind, I'll actually get it in the reverse order. It'll be 3, 2, and then 1. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to take this just a step further. I'm going to show you guys another technique that you can use to recycle HUD messages. Alright, so I'm using these class selectors just to change teams, because HUD message devices are team specific. So what I can do is actually set this message to appear only to team 1, on team 2, and on team 3. However, remember, these are all spawning from the same channel. We're going to go ahead and get rid of these. We don't need them anymore. I'm going to make sure that my game settings are set correctly so that I can switch between teams. Okay, now I'm going to start game. Because these HUD messages are team specific, I'm only going to see them if I'm on the corresponding team. So when I push this button, being on team 1, you're going to see that I'm on team 1. Alright, so that's working. Let's check team 2 and 3. So I'm going to sit here until I become team 2. I push the same exact button, transmitting on the same channel, and now it should get a different message. Voila! Now I'm going to switch to team 3, just to test. And as you can see, using one channel, I've got 3 different messages. So as you can see, you can use this trick to make different text styles, you can make multiple lines, you can send them to different teams on one channel, or you can even just change the order that they appear in. I hope this tutorial helped you understand HUD message devices a little bit better, as well as all of the different settings that we can do with them. If you have any other suggestions for tutorials, let me know. I'd be happy to look into them. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great one. See you later.